Hey everyone, Travis here on day 2, week 4 of the LCS, joined by Pr0lly, who has lost, and Highlam, who's now, oh, he's gone. It's over. I don't even know if he got in the shot.
Oh yeah, the interview's over now? High left already?
Yeah. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Now I could just say Pr0lly and hi, and then people will be like, oh, hi, he's that really good mid laner.
Yeah.
And they'll tune in. Get it? Because you're also mid lane, and yeah.
I don't get it.
Anyway, you lost today against TSM. But I can't interview TSM, so I'm interviewing you.
Are you ever going to get tired of that? Saying, oh, well, you lost today, so.
I mean, are you ever going to get tired of losing?
No, man, it feels great.
Okay,
feels
good. Glad we're there. Why did you lose?
I actually kind of take a lot more blame for that game than our other losses. I feel like mostly that game I would put on myself. Yeah. The first blood was very unfortunate, but the game definitely wasn't lost by then. I would say most of the loss in that game came from my positioning in team fights, because with Ziggs versus an all-in comp, all you have to do is space correctly and don't get hit by stuff. And literally, I would use my skills in the wrong direction and then walk towards them and be like, "What's up, bros?" And then I'd get hit by everything. And so I'll take blame for that game. That was my fault.
I feel like I should slouch because you're slouching, and I don't want to make you seem too. Yeah. Okay. Now we're. Yeah. Video producer getting mad. All right, so have you just been reading tribunal messages a lot, on those tips on the loading screen? That's why you're taking some of the blame?
No. Those tips are special, and I don't think they apply mostly to me. But no, today was just a bad day for me, I guess I'd say that.
Well, hey, tell me about yesterday then.
What was I playing yesterday?
CLG.
No, what was I playing? I was playing Orianna.
I remember, didn't we do an interview after you got in and you were talking about how you played Orianna and just did stuff that no one expected, and that's why you were able to, because you didn't even expect it?
Oh, yeah. So
don't you ever listen to our interviews?
Actually, I played Orianna the way you're supposed to that game, which is probably why we lost. Yeah. I should have just played it like I'm going to go one-hit one person. Yeah. But yeah, that game actually had decent ults. I would say maybe missed one or two big ones on one person, but I say I had 3 or 4 man ults most of the time, and actually farmed pretty well. I think I was 40 or 50 CS up on Link at one point, and I don't think I ever took my jungler to pressure mid much, so I think I did really well laning phase. And grouping phase, I guess, was also a problem, similar to today, where I stepped up too far when we were on the back foot just trying to protect Siege, and I kind of stepped in front of my team, which is what I did today. So I guess that's kind of where I need to improve to fix both of our losses. I wouldn't say yesterday was all my fault, but I definitely helped them win. Put it that way. I helped them win easier.
Whereas today you helped them lose.
Yeah. Today I helped them lose real hard. It worked out well.
I don't know if that's the definition of working out well. Now, you guys still have Kez.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Kez is going really well. We actually had a small jungler mid epiphany last night. We spent a lot of time talking because the CLG loss was really lame for us. It was man, we lost to CLG again when we should have just won, because we had Jax outscaling Shyvana because he was up CS, and then I was outscaling Lulu because I was up CS. And then we were like, oh my god, this Twitch is 5-1, and then just decimated me. So those were just games where I feel like we could have won if we were smarter with our positioning and the fights we chose. Because the game just kind of, they would start a fight, and then it would end, and then we would spawn and go, hey, look, there's still some person on the map, let's go catch them. So we go chase them down, and honestly, the only way we would win that game is if we did oriented team fights, and we basically had one oriented team fight maybe. Yeah. So we basically didn't play to the strengths of our comp at all, and that kind of sucked. But after we realized all this last night, me and Kez, the way we need to be doing our early and mid game and play to our strengths. So today was a big learning curve for us, because this next week during scrims, we have actually a plan of kind of the identity for our team. Okay. So we have roles to fulfill now. Before it would be I'm not sure what mid lane I need to be playing. How should I be playing? Should I be farming all day? Should I be pressuring all day? Should I try to roam? And then last night it kind of settled in what I needed to be doing correctly, and then Kez kind of settled into what he needed to be doing correctly. And then today was just our first chance doing it, so it fell on its head. But throughout scrims this week, hopefully we'll define this and next week should be a really nice turning point for us. If we do terribly next week, I'll be very surprised and very upset with myself.
So you're looking to more situations like what you see on Cloud9, where like High is sort of like it's more Medios running around doing a bunch of the stuff. High's sort of doing his thing. Like you just have each person has like their own goal or plan or whatever, and then you guys all sort of unite that into like a Transformers type robot.
Yeah. Actually, Transformers came up a lot in our talk.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna mostly just try to be like Transformers. Kez is gonna be Optimus Prime. Who am I gonna be? I don't want to be Bumblebee.
Yeah.
What about?
I haven't really
who's
ever
that
watched
guy who, like,
Transformers.
transformed into the beatboxing machine.
I watched Star Trek. Are you gonna be like Captain Picard?
Yeah. I would want to be Jean-Luc Picard. 100%. But yeah, we'll be improving.
What are your feelings about the TSM guys after they, trounced you so hard like that? Like, is there just a lot of animosity? Like, if you saw one of them right now, would you want to just get up and attack them?
Yeah, like I would never really say this to their face, but I don't think they're smart enough to use the internet, so they will never see this interview.
Okay.
But I don't know, they're kind of like really big morons.
Oh, damn.
Like, dude, whenever I see Dyrus, the whole time I'm just like, if I flicked him, he'd fall over and just explode.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
He's like a tall atomic bomb.
I heard Wild Turtle is, like, actually Dan and I think it was Dan and Dyrus were actually building Legos yesterday. And then Wild Turtle apparently came by and just, like, nuked a tower. Like just a very destructive force. So I hear about those guys. Very, very aggressive people. Now...
Very evil people.
Yeah.
I saw that Lee Sin kick amazing. Shouldn't have connected it. Should have done the mercy play. Let him go. Send a message. Yeah, next
time he
All
says,
right.
yeah. There we go. Now, I don't know. What else is there to talk about with you? I think we're getting there. Oh yeah, is Broken Shard back next week? Or do you not want to say that in front of an LCS team that's watching? Because then they'll know.
No, I mean, who cares? Bring it on.
Okay.
We don't play next week, so whatever. No, Broken's visa is still having super trouble, so we're not going to have him back next week. So we're still using Kez.
Okay.
So we'll have him more. I think we'll be playing 3 weeks with Kez so far. This will be our 3rd week.
Is this the Shifter situation? From like Split 1, the first split of LCS, where they couldn't get Shifter in from Canada, and so they just ended up not using him for the most of it.
Yeah, just like that.
I'm just trying to make a connection. Just trying to make a connection. How's your wrist healing?
Oh, my wrist is actually doing really well. Do you want to see some progression?
Yeah.
All right, so you know how like hands can go this way and this way?
Yeah.
All right, look how far this hand can go. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And then ready for the back way?
Well, you can show them your.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got scratched by a cat.
People are gonna think that's actually like. There's gonna be some top comment that's like, how could a cat scratch him like that? We were talking about your cougar before, so is that from the
yeah.
cougar?
Yeah. Fuck, that's actually a really good story. I should have said that the whole time.
Yeah. Wait, can we talk about the cougar now? Because at the time you were afraid you'd mess it up.
Oh, yeah, and I technically guess I did mess that up. Yeah, so cougar story is not as fun as it is. We talked for a little bit, and then it was kind of like disappeared, and then I felt weird.
Well, you never explained like who this person was.
This is a person.
Yeah.
What?
Well, just like the context. Before you were just like cougar. That's all I'm gonna say. And so now people like when you just say, "Oh yeah, I messed up," like people don't even know what you're referencing.
Oh yeah, I guess they don't. No, I don't want to tell that story still.
It's not.
Please,
It's
Travis.
not. It's not been enough time.
No, it's not been enough time. Well, it's a really good story.
This is like the worst interview ever because people are like, "No, you're just leaving everybody." Can you give some more hints or something? Some more references? Are you just like tired now? What's happening?
All right. I'll tell the story if I can remember it now.
On an airplane.
Yeah. So it was basically the one moment in life I'll ever be like that cool guy. I got to be the cool guy in movies that has like like slick back hair and the jean jacket. I was Fonzie for a bit.
Okay.
So it started off. I'm on an airplane. I'm sitting next to this really attractive older woman, and immediately I'm like, oh well, older woman, probably not gonna have a chance. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go sleep. So I slept for like, this is on Atlanta to LA, so 5-hour flight. So I sleep for like 2.5 hours or so.
You woke up in her arms.
Not quite. So I wake up and I'm still like, okay, like, maybe we can talk or something, but it's gonna be very light conversation, no flirting. So I pull out my phone and I start playing this tower defense game on my phone, like super kiddie, nerdy tower defense game. Because I'm like, all right, she's not in my life, I'm not in hers, I'm just gonna do my thing. So I'm playing my game, and like 5 or 10 minutes into it, I like noticed like a shadow kind of coming over, and I know she's just watching me play. And she goes like, oh, hey, what game is that? And I was like, oh, I immediately have to change this conversation.
Yeah.
So she asked me, I'm like, some game, but, blah, 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 blah. So, like, do you have anything on your phone that's cool? So she, like, pulls out her phone and she starts talking to me about what she does with hers. And I was like, all right, this is going normal.
Yeah, this sounds very normal.
Yeah, it sounds very normal. And, I don't know, body language-wise, it was very much like she was attacking me to get me to talk to her. So eventually she pulls out this magazine, and it's basically like half-naked girls with like tattoos. And she's like, do you like tattoos? And I was like, yeah, sure, tattoos are awesome. Yeah. She's like, well, I have a couple tattoos, in like places I can't show you right now. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough. And she opens up this magazine, and we literally just start looking at this like half-naked girl magazine and just talking about all these half-naked girls. And I was like, this is a conversation I would not expect from an older woman with me, especially her starting it. Yeah. So at first I was like, all right, this is weird that she's talking to me like this. And so eventually it gets to the point where we're just talking about California, and I'm going to be here with like, I didn't tell her technically, I played video games.
Yeah, you got to roll into that.
Yeah, I avoided the video game talk as much as possible. And so it gets to the point where she's like, oh, well, like we should go out sometime. And I was like, oh, well, I'm in LA and I don't have a car or anything because my roommates have cars. And she's like, oh, well, I'm in NorCal somewhere, like Silicon Valley. And she's like, well, it's like a 5-hour drive, but if you give me a call, like I'll come drive down and see you. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, well, what do you do right now? And she's like, I don't really do much. But I went to school to be a masseuse. And I was like, this is pretty awesome. I like this. So keeps going on, and I'm wearing like a hoodie and like sweatpants because I'm on a plane, right? Yeah. I'm looking rough. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, well, when you come down, I'll be the wall, like if you drive me around. And next time you see me, like you're gonna be impressed. I'm gonna dress up really nice. And she goes, I think you look really good right now. Like, kind of looks like you don't really give a fuck, and I'm really into that. And I was like, whoa! This is easy. So we keep just shooting the shit about basically, nothing, and lots of innuendos are going in and out. And
that's what a hamburger's all about.
All right. So more stuff happens and I don't remember, but it's basically like I would say like I would like stop the conversation and pretend to do something else, and she would come back over and be like, hey, I'm over here. And I'd be like, oh, hello, I didn't notice you were there. So I was trying to be the cool guy. And then after the plane's over, my coach Coobs is waiting for me outside the gate. And I was in front of her, and I'm walking up to Coobs. I tap him on the shoulder. I go, hey, dude, watch this. And so I step back a bit, and then the cougar comes passing, and I go, hey, and I hold my hand out like that. And she comes in, and she's like, oh, hey, like, oh. And she starts, like, hugging on me. I was like, so am I going to see you later? And she's like, yeah, just give me a call. You have my number. And I was like, yeah, I will. And I turned to Coobs. I was like, you see that? Yeah. So I got to be that was my cool guy moment in front of Coobs. I get to, 10 out of 10. So I got to be the cool guy for a bit. But then now I get to be the loser guy because nothing happened with that yet. But that was the cougar story. I forgot probably a lot of the really fun stuff.
Well, I don't know how much you can repeat on here.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's also an interview. You can't show your grandma, huh?
Nope. I already decided I can't show my grandma this interview. One day I'm gonna do an interview that's clean, and I'm gonna be like, hey grandma, look at this. Your grandson's a nice boy. And she'll be like, oh, you did so well, Neil. I'll be like, thanks grandma. But right now I'm like, I don't do interviews, Grandma. Like, you can't find them. So don't look for them.
Don't enter. Yeah. We'll just keep. I'll just go. I need to figure out like the terms that she would Google, like best grandson Neil Hammond video games, and make that like the title of the interview, so that when she goes and Googles, it'd be like the first thing. Oh, yeah. You have any shout outs, plugs, anything you want to say at the end of this interview?
Yeah, shout out to Sound Blaster, Cyberpower Creative. Don't you do it. Newegg, Twitch, still getting me the expression phone aware.
Check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS at ongamers.com. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Winston, you don't want to stay here? I feel so much like stronger when you're around, you know? More confident. Yeah, exactly. You just give me your strength. Are you ready?
Wait, so did it start yet? Yeah, buddy.